Dog, ever since this boy Unruin pulled up and hit us with a Unruin shambles, my life has been in shambles. Like, this is what I'm calling currently the post-Foucault era, sadly enough. But hopefully it's alright. Due to the inception of Uma Ghost, as we recently saw, we do know that there's at least a little hope, and we get us getting our best girl back. And we really need to hope that we can get Foucault back, actually, because as Unruin mentioned in chapter 105, this subsequent loop, the next one, it's the final loop. And not only that, but in this current loop, we're a month out from Raga no Raku. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah. Appreciate y'all for stopping by. This is just a quick thought congregation, I guess to say. Just a discussion on my thoughts of chapter 106 of Undead Unluck. So, let's get straight into it. Currently, we are in, as I would say, dire straits. Yeah. Undead Unluck is in a dire situation. First off, as I mentioned, Raga no Raku, 1 month out. We don't have time to waste. God is coming to smite us and blow up the earth and recreate it in a month's time. Terrible thing to think about. I really wonder if this will be the end of the series or if we're going to have to go into the next loop. Pray to God we don't have to, because I don't really want that much Undead Unluck. But I fucking love Undead Unluck. You already saw my other video. You know I appreciate the shit out of this. I just like some stories being shorter than other ones, I guess to say. But one issue, the next one, Foucault is currently out of commission. We already know that, but what I'm scared about is her presumably being bopped, and that would, I guess, be the catalyst for us having to go to a next loop. However, we know that's not going to happen because this is Shonen Jump. Love that part of every story. But I guess the next big issue on our table is the current situation that my boy Undeado is in, as he is tracking down the individuals who could presumably help us out in saving Foucault. Uma, Gosto, and Unruin. But Unruin is linked up with one of the other regulators of God. There's only 2 of them, Seal and Unruin. And as these dogs are linked up, there is a bit to be scared about. As you saw last chapter and the previous couple, the gang was sealed up. And Andy was traveling with a little woman named Lucy, and Lucy turned out to actually be unhealthy. Not just in a weird sense, like she's a negator. But Lucy had the wherewithal, I guess to say, to fully grasp her own body, and she realized that in this new ghost world that you could actually astral project. Teaching them how to astral project, Undead and the rest of the Umas who had already been sealed by Seal, they got out. Pero after getting out, they realized that there wasn't really much to do, even though Undead had backup basically, because I presume that these Umas who just got sealed by Seal would be down to scrap with Seal as well. They can't really do anything in the physical bodies while they're in these astral forms. But, so we are still in dire straits. I'm scared to see what Undead does. I mean, shit, even to mention, Lucy, the little girl who we thought was a good girl, she's a bad girl. She's Benedict Arnold, not Benedict Cumberbatch. She's not Doctor Strange. She's just a freaking strange little girl because she's following a vampire murder guy. She probably knows no better. She probably was promised some weird wishes. Pero it doesn't really matter right now. Everybody around us is against us, and if you ain't with us, you against us, gang. You know what I mean? But shit, I'm not really too worried about Seal, completely honest. I think that the big gun who came in at the end of the chapter, I'll mention a bit later, I think that will be the individual who easily deals with Seal, because bro is kind of different. But I am still scared of Unruin, even though he did take damage at the end of the chapter, as I'll mention later. Last time he took damage, he took deathly damage and didn't die. So if he can just regenerate from fatal wounds, and we still don't really understand what Unruin means, all he is a dangerous mark on our page. So we gotta look out for Unruin, because if he is as simple as ruining your dreams, then anytime you're thinking about, I want to hurt you, I want to do this to you, it's not going to work. Similar to like untruth. But I'll get into that on your own time. Nonetheless, I guess the next thing I want to talk about is Uma Ghost. We finally got a look into what Uma Ghost has been up to, and Unruined just said that Bro's been out trying to make friends. And you know where he's currently trying to make friends? He's trying to make some in the Union. And he pulled up on our boy Nico. And what's weird about how he pulled up on Nico is he pulled up with a woman who had a Union tag on her and presumably was a love interest of some sort, or at least somebody who he really cared about. She had a type of lab type uniform on, so I bet you she's another one of the thinker niggas. So I bet you she just had good ties to Bro. A beautiful young woman, a beautiful young Nico. Put it together, it's a beautiful young couple. What if Ghost says, Nico contract with me, and he makes a contract to make Nico go ghost just so he can be with this girl again? I don't know what Ghost has been up to, making friends, so it's just a thought. Bro's on some weird shit though. But as I said earlier, I don't think Seal's gonna be too much of a problem. Biggest reason for that is because my boy Henri Pear finally pulled back up on us. I was very happy to see, dude, because as I mentioned, we're in dire straits. We needed some Deus Ex Machina. I'm not even mad that he pulled up out of nowhere to a castle in the middle of fucking nowhere. I'm very happy, honestly. They probably were tracking Undead in some way, shape, or form for him to actually know to pull up here. But it doesn't matter. We're just happy that Henri Pear pulled up on us. But there's still a lot to worry about in Undead Unluck. One of the biggest things I've been thinking about is just this tie of like the astral people, like Luna, the person who Jules reached out to in order to change the rules of the world. She actually like offered up those points to Luna to send Undead and Fuko a week in advance so that she was able to survive for that week and they could get all the equipment ready, yada yada yada. Those people are odd. Even the fact that Jules knows a lot more than we even think still about the loops and about God, and she has a literal tie to God by being able to converse with these individuals. Shit's weird, just to say the least. Last thing I'm really thinking about is how Unruined mentioned recently the 101 master rules that are supposed to be in place for whenever God comes. What are those? What do you mean, dog? What do you mean? Like, he's a scary individual. I really like this villain that's been created out of him so far because Bro is just reckless. He's out here praying to God in a world where, hey, don't send me to hell, but you feel me, dog? You feel me? Like, the God in this world ain't mine. He ain't slime. He ain't at all. But shit, I'm very excited for next chapter. I think, as I mentioned, I think Unrepair will tritely, quickly, concisely deal with Seal. I hope he can deal with Unruin as well, but that's just not how the manga usually work. I think Unruin will be here until Ragnarok comes. So shit, as we prepare for that, I need all y'all to put your hands together and pray for some more Deus Ex Machina so that potentially we don't all die. But shit, I'm out of here.